In a not-so-distant future, a dark scenario unfolds as 10 kings emerge from a powerful coalition, ready to shape the fate of the world. What do these leaders have in common? A secret agenda that could lead to the rise of the Antichrist. Meanwhile, Daniel's prophecies echo through the centuries, revealing long-forgotten truths. The book of Revelation, with its visions and symbols, interweaves impressively, forming a map that many try to decipher. Who are these 10 kings? What role will they play in human history? And how is Babylon connected to all of this? As the signs intensify, the mark of the beast becomes a real threat, and a false prophet rises to deceive even the most faithful. The dangers of deception are closer than one might imagine. Unshakable faith in Christ becomes the only anchor amidst the storm of uncertainties. Prepare for a revealing journey that explores the mysteries of prophecy and the warnings that still resonate today. What does the future hold? The answer may lie in the ancient pages of the Bible, waiting to be uncovered. The prophecy of the 10 kings is an intriguing theme that appears in several biblical passages, mainly in the books of Daniel and Revelation. This prophecy speaks about the rise of 10 leaders or kings who will unite in a coalition in the last days. These leaders are often seen as powerful figures who will have a significant influence on global events. What is interesting is that this union is not only about political power, but also about spiritual impact, as these kings may be linked to a system that opposes God's values. The characteristics of these 10 kings vary. Some scholars believe they may represent specific nations or political alliances, while others view this prophecy as more symbolic, representing forces that oppose divine truth. The fact is that their rise is associated with a period of great tribulation and conflict. It's as if history is preparing for a climax, where these leaders play a central role in shaping humanity's future. The global impact of this coalition is a point worth noting. The coalition of the 10 kings may bring with it a new world order, where values and principles are profoundly altered. People may find themselves facing moral and spiritual dilemmas, forced to choose between following these leaders or remaining steadfast in faith. This struggle between good and evil can be seen in many events already happening around us, reflecting the larger battle unfolding in the spiritual realm. Additionally, the prophecy of the 10 kings is a reminder that the events of the end times are not merely political or social, but also have a strong spiritual component. How people respond to these leaders can reveal much about their faith and priorities. The choice to follow or not follow these kings could have eternal consequences. This dynamic brings forth the importance of remaining vigilant, discerning the signs of the times, and seeking wisdom in the scriptures. It is essential to remember that the prophecy of the 10 kings should not be viewed with fear but with hope. For believers, it is an opportunity to strengthen their faith and prepare for the challenges that lie ahead. The certainty that God is in control and that His will ultimately prevails offers comfort and security in times of uncertainty. The connection between Daniel and Revelation is a fascinating point for those who study biblical prophecies. Both works, written in different contexts, share visions and themes that intertwine, forming a more complete picture of eschatological events. For example, Daniel speaks about kingdoms that will rise and fall, while Revelation details the end of these kingdoms and God's final victory. This relationship helps us understand how the scriptures complement and illuminate one another. One of the most notable aspects of this connection is the figure of the beasts, which appears in both books. In Daniel, we see descriptions of beasts symbolizing oppressive kingdoms and powers, while in Revelation, these beasts take on a new dimension, representing both political systems and the manifestation of the Antichrist. The continuity between Daniel's visions and John's revelations allows us to see that prophecies are not isolated events, but part of a larger narrative unfolding throughout history. Another important point is the issue of time. Daniel speaks of a specific time for the coming of the Messiah and the restoration of Israel, while Revelation gives us a view of the end time when God will judge the nations. This temporal intersection shows us that even amid chaos and corruption, there is a divine plan in action. Trusting in God's sovereignty becomes a central theme, reminding believers that He is always in control, even when circumstances seem adverse. Additionally, the connection between these two books also teaches us about the importance of perseverance. Daniel was an example of faith in adversity, and his experiences echo in the words of encouragement found in Revelation. The message that those who stand firm in faith will receive the crown of life is a theme that permeates both works, reinforcing the need to keep hope alive even when times are tough. Exploring the interrelationship between Daniel and Revelation invites us to a deeper study of the Scriptures. This analysis helps us understand not only future events, but also how to live faithfully in the present. The lessons we can draw from these prophecies are relevant to our journey of faith, reminding us that, regardless of the hardships, we are called to trust in God and His promises. Modern Babylon is a symbolic representation that appears in prophecies, especially in the book of Revelation. This Babylon is seen as a center of corruption and idolatry, a place where divine values are distorted and morality disintegrates. The image of Babylon serves as a warning to believers, reminding them of the dangers of being swayed by the influences of the world around them. What the Bible describes as modern Babylon is not just a city or a nation, but a system that opposes God. One of the main aspects of modern Babylon is its ability to attract and seduce people. Through commerce, culture, and philosophy, this contemporary Babylon promotes values that are often antagonistic to the Christian faith. In a world filled with distractions and temptations, it's easy for people to get lost. The biblical message about Babylon invites us to reflect on where we are placing our hearts and priorities. It is a call to examine whether we are living according to God's principles or being swayed by worldly currents. Moreover, modern Babylon is also a symbol of power and oppression. Just as ancient Babylon was known for its military strength and ability to dominate other nations, the present-day Babylon represents systems that seek to control and manipulate people. This oppression may manifest through ideologies that oppose freedom of belief or societal pressure to conform to standards that do not reflect God's truth. Facing this, resistance to these forces becomes an important part of the Christian life. Another point to consider is the connection between modern Babylon and the final events in human history. The Bible states that, in the end times, there will be judgment on Babylon, symbolizing the defeat of evil and the vindication of divine justice. This perspective gives us hope, as we know that despite the corruption and injustice that permeate the world, God will have the final say. The fall of Babylon is a sign that true justice will be established and that those who remain faithful to God will be rewarded. The discussion about modern Babylon leads us to reflect on how to live in a world that often opposes Christian values. The Bible calls us to be light amid darkness, to resist corruption, and to promote truth and justice. This message is relevant not only for the end days, but also for our everyday lives, constantly reminding us that no matter how strong Babylon may be around us, faithfulness to God is what truly matters. The mark of the beast, mentioned in Revelation 13, is a theme that has generated much discussion and speculation. This mark, which is often associated with the number 666, represents more than just a simple symbol. For many, it is a sign of total control, a mechanism that the world system will use to dominate people. As technology advances, the idea of a system that monitors and controls people's lives seems increasingly plausible. prompting questions about how this will manifest in the future. The mark of the beast is linked to the issue of moral choice. For believers, accepting this mark would mean relinquishing loyalty to God in exchange for security or social acceptance. This choice forces us to reflect on how far we are willing to go to remain true to our values. What many don't realize is that this decision may be much more than a simple act. It's a commitment of heart and mind that defines one's spiritual life. Furthermore, the mark of the beast also raises questions about social control and the role of technology in our lives. Nowadays, we already see signs of how modern technologies can be used to monitor and regulate people's behavior. Cameras, location tracking, and even biometrics are examples of how we are increasingly connected to systems that may not have our best interests in mind. This leads us to ponder what the future holds and how the choices we make today may impact our freedom tomorrow. It is crucial to understand that the mark is not just a physical issue, but also a spiritual one. The mark of the beast may symbolize acceptance of a system that opposes divine principles. This implies that by choosing the system, people may distance themselves from God and His truth. Therefore, the discussion about the mark should not only be about a symbol, but about the reality of choosing between what is right and what is convenient. This is a struggle that many will face in the coming times. It is important to remember that this issue should not be faced with fear, but with an attitude of vigilance and preparation. The mark of the beast is a warning of what is to come and a call to reflect on faithfulness to God. The decisions we make daily shape our character and spirituality. Staying alert and firm in our faith can make all the difference in a world full of deceptions and distractions. The false prophet is an intriguing figure in the prophecies, and his role is essential to understanding the final events described in the Bible. He appears in Revelation as an agent of the Antichrist, promoting a system that leads people away from true worship of God. This raises the question, how can someone influence so many people to the point of leading them down a path that opposes divine values? The false prophet uses methods of deception and manipulation to achieve his goals, which makes him so dangerous. One of the false prophet's most common tactics is the use of emotional persuasion. He presents himself as someone who brings solutions and answers, appealing to the feelings and fears of the masses. This ability to connect emotionally is a powerful tool, as many people seek comfort in times of uncertainty. The false prophet exploits this, offering promises that seem too good to be true, but in reality only serve to lead people away from God. Furthermore, the false prophet is known for performing signs and wonders that impress onlookers. These acts are not mere tricks, but a way to legitimize his authority and convince people that he is a divine messenger. This reveals a truth about human nature. We are often drawn to what we see and feel, and we forget to question the origin of such manifestations. This blind trust can lead many to accept the leadership of the false prophet without a second thought. Another significant aspect is how the false prophet aligns with the interests of the Antichrist. He not only promotes worship of the Antichrist, but also seeks to eliminate any opposition to this system. This can manifest in persecutions, censorship, and increasing intolerance towards dissenting voices. This dynamic creates an environment where the truth is distorted, and people are led to believe in collective lies. The false prophet's message serves as a warning of the need for spiritual discernment. In a world full of information and influences, it is crucial that believers seek the truth in the Scriptures and maintain a close relationship with God. The fight against deception is constant, and knowing how to identify voices that truly serve God is essential to avoid falling into the traps of the false prophet. This vigilance is a call to action for all who wish to remain steadfast in faith. In the end times, having a solid faith is crucial. In a world full of uncertainties and deceptions, trust in God becomes a safe refuge. The Bible describes faith as the assurance of what we hope for and the conviction of what we do not see, highlighting its role as an anchor for believers amid life's storms. Maintaining this confidence in Christ is challenging, especially in a society that often promotes values contrary to Christian principles. Today's culture offers many distractions and promises of quick solutions that can lead us astray. However, it is precisely in this setting that true confidence becomes essential, providing stability and direction. Those who remain firm in their convictions, even when pressured, serve as a light in the darkness, guiding others in the search for truth. Besides bringing stability, trust in God is a source of hope. In times of difficulty, when the prospect of a better future seems distant, this confidence reminds us that God is in control of all things. This hope does not depend on circumstances around us, but on the certainty that God never abandons his own. With this assurance, believers face challenges head-on, knowing that strength comes from a higher power. Mutual support among believers also plays a vital role in maintaining this confidence. Life in community provides a space to share experiences and encourage those who face doubts and difficulties. This bond of solidarity strengthens everyone involved, making the journey lighter and more meaningful. In times of uncertainty, finding support in collective faith is an important refuge. However, developing unshakable confidence is an ongoing process. It requires dedication, study of the Word, and a life of prayer. As believers deepen their relationship with God, they become more resilient and prepared for challenges that may arise. True faith does not exempt us from difficulties, but empowers us to face them with the conviction that God is present in every step. This process of spiritual maturity strengthens us to overcome the trials along the way. In addition to sustaining personal life, this confidence serves as a powerful testimony. When believers demonstrate steadfastness in God amidst adversity, it inspires others to seek the same hope. The actions and attitudes of those who remain confident are a way of sharing Christ's message, showing that it is possible to find peace amid chaos. With the challenges of the end times, it is essential that each believer seeks to strengthen their confidence. What are you doing to prepare? Are you ready to face the difficulties that arise in your path? The Bible encourages us to keep our gaze fixed on God and trust in His promises, knowing that no matter how intense the trials, victory is already assured in Christ. I hope this reflection has strengthened your walk of faith. If you want to delve even deeper into this topic, don't miss one of the videos appearing on the screen now. They will help you understand even more about how to live a life centered on God, even in challenging times. Click on one of the videos, and may God bless you.